Dangerous human food for dogs, a deadly 15 foods. Here are 15 dangerous human foods for dogs. 15. Alcohol. Alcoholic beverages and food products consisting of alcohol can cause vomiting, diarrhea, decreased coordination, central nervous system depression, difficulty breathing, tremors, irregular blood level of acidity, coma, and even fatality. So, bear in mind to maintain alcohol well out of your canine's reach. 14. Xylitol. Xylitol is an artificial sweetener used in several foods, including gum, candy, and baked goods, and ice cream. Xylitol is toxic to dogs. A small amount of xylitol eaten by a dog can cause insulin release, which is connected to liver failure and also a decrease in blood sugar level. The first indicators of toxicosis consist of vomiting, sleepiness, and loss of control. Maintain your dog far from all products that have the existence of xylitol. 13. Cooked bones. Cooked bones generally provide not just a choking danger to dogs but a splintering danger also. Canines that eat cooked bones might suffer from the following: damaged teeth, mouth, or tongue injuries, bones looped around the reduced jaw, intestinal obstruction, and irregular bowel movements. 12. Chocolate. Chocolate contains a stimulant called theobromine that's poisonous to dogs. The quantity of theobromine depends on the sort of chocolate. Theobromine primarily affects the digestive tracts, heart, central nervous system, as well as kidneys. Consumption too much theobromine and caffeine in chocolate may result in vomiting, looseness of the bowels, restlessness, increased urination, tremors, raised heart rate, seizures as well as death. 11. Caffeine. Like chocolate, high levels of caffeine are exceptionally hazardous to dogs. Usage way too much high levels of caffeine in coffee might result in extreme hyperactivity, restlessness, vomiting, elevated heart price, and also blood pressure, tremors, seizures, and also death. 10. Onions. Onions are particularly toxic, and indicators of poisoning often occur a couple of days after your dog has consumed the vegetable. Onions are some of the outright worst foods you could give your dog. Onions include disulfides as well as sulfoxides, both of which can trigger anemia and damages red blood cells. Note that all forms of onion, whether dry or raw, or cooked, or powder, within other foods, are dangerous for your dog. 9. Grapes and raisins. Grapes and also raisins can trigger kidney failure for dogs. Consumption of a small number of grapes or raisins by a dog may result in vomiting, loss of appetite, looseness of the bowels, abdominal pain, weakness, and inebriated walking. So do not feed your dog this possibly hazardous food. 8. Macadamia nuts. Eating macadamia nuts can cause your canine to become very ill. Consumption of merely a handful of nuts can cause adverse effects. As a couple of 6 macadamia nuts can trigger locomotory difficulties in canines. Poisoning will usually evince within 6 to 24 hours. Symptoms might include throwing up, weakness, depression, lack of power, inebriated walking, shakes, ataxia, hyperthermia, stomach discomfort. 7. Avocados. Avocados contain persin, which is considered poisonous for dogs. Persin included in avocados can trigger vomiting, looseness of the bowels, heart congestion, and also cause difficulty breathing and fluid accumulation in the heart and chest area. The most unsafe part of an avocado is the pit because it is a choking risk, and also it contains persin. 6. Milk and dairy products. Lactase is an enzyme that breaks down the lactose contained in milk as well as dairy. Since dogs do not produce as much lactase as humans, milk and dairy products can cause digestive troubles in addition to trigger food allergies. You ought to avoid feeding your canine milk and dairy products for this reason. 5. Raw meat and eggs. Raw eggs and meat contain avidin, an enzyme that hinders the absorption of specific B vitamins. Extreme consumption of raw eggs and meat can lead to a biotin deficiency that misbehaves for dogs' skin and also hair. 4. Raw fish. Raw fish can be infected with bacteria which causes food poisoning. Also, Some fish can include a bloodsucker that creates fish illness or salmon poisoning disease. Signs and symptoms include throwing up, fever, as well as enlarged lymph nodes. Prepared fish is flawlessly excellent considering that the food preparation process kills the parasites, but be sure to eliminate all bones to avoid choking or inner body organ risks. 3. Fruits pits and seeds. Apple seeds, cherry pits, peach pits, as well as plum pits contain poisonous cyanide, which is toxic to canines. Also, pits and also seeds can create intestinal obstruction issues in dogs. Indications of intestinal obstruction might consist of anorexia, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, sleepiness, no hunger, inflamed abdominal areas, fever, dehydration, and shock. 2. Yeast dough. Yeast is a usual active ingredient in bread dough that is dangerous for the dog, as it will undoubtedly continue to rise in its stomach, causing pain, gas, as well as bloating. The yeast additionally generates ethanol as a byproduct, which in your dog can make them end up being drunk. 1. Salt and salty snack foods. Salt, along with salt-heavy foods like chips, pretzels, and popcorn, can result in excessive thirst and also urination, and even sodium-ion poisoning in dogs. Some signs that your dog might have taken too much salt include throwing up, diarrhea, anxiety, tremors, raised body temperature level, seizures, and also even fatality. Thank you for watching. Please like and share. And do not forget to subscribe.